Hello friends, welcome to GS Core. As we do every day, we'll go through current affairs of today and we will then skill ourselves for the purpose of solving MCQs on the basis of information that we collect through today's important topics. So what are today's important topics? So first and foremost, cyber slavery, a very important term that was in news, and straight away a question can come on it, just asking the meaning of it. Then we have bilateral trade treaties, very important from the point of view of economy. GM portal, initiative of Government of India, a very important initiative, I will say. Great Indian Bustard, a species which Indian government is hard bent on protecting. All right. And then we have United Nations Security Council, the most powerful organization, I would say, in the world right now. Okay. Chalo. Now let us look into the content of current affairs and then we'll look into the questions. Don't worry. The first term or the first topic is obviously cyber slavery. So why is it in news? The reason for that is now the government of India recently rescued 75 Indians from Cambodia, a country in Southeast Asia, and government has rescued them from cyber slavery. What basically is cyber slavery? What is cyber slavery? So it is forcing individuals to commit illegal activities like economic frauds, data theft, through force. This is cyber slavery. Mainly how it is orchestrated to individuals, qualified individuals that are well versed with IT. What happens is they are basically provided or lured into this illegal activity, or they are lured into cyber slavery by promising them high paying jobs in foreign countries. So they are taken out of their national jurisdiction and then they are basically made captives in these countries, and then they are made to commit online crimes. This is basically cyber slavery. All right, Indians, if you look into data, Indians are most vulnerable. All right, Indians are most vulnerable to cyber slavery. Number one reason for that is technical knowledge, and second is foreign jobs that Indians are so much into. All right, so these two factors make Indians most vulnerable when it comes to cyber slavery. Now let us look into the question. Which of the following best describes cyber slavery? Actually, it is a typical question. If you take into consideration UPSC prelims, okay, if there is a term in news, UPSC is bound to ask question directly with respect to meaning of that term. Hence, understanding the core meaning is very important. Okay, so option A is a practice of using advanced technologies to enslave individuals in virtual reality. No. Virtual reality stimulation, manipulating their perception and experience. No, this is not the correct option, though it may seem. देखिए साइबर स्लेवरी ना has nothing to do with respect to getting someone trapped into AI. No, it has nothing to do with that. Second, a form of digital bondage where individuals are forced to perform tasks online against their will, often under threat of blackmail or coercion. Absolutely right. This is what cyber slavery is. We have just looked into it. All right. So we are done with the first content or the first topic and question related to that topic. Let us now move to the second topic, and this is very important, very important when it comes to economy. All right. And why it was in news? Because India and US have basically, both these countries have basically gone into a dispute with respect to bilateral investment treaty. Now, what is bilateral investment treaty? So, bilateral investment treaty or BTI, as it is called, it is basically agreement between two countries. Agreement between two countries where private sector of the two countries will be provided mutual protection. All right. So if there is agreement between country A and country B with respect to an investment or with respect to a trade, so the company of country A, a private company belonging to country A private company which is inherently registered in country A, and it does trade in country B, and if there is a dispute, so BIT basically will protect the company that is registered in country A but is doing business in country B. All right, that is what basically BIT is. So it is providing protection to private companies via government agreement between two governments. That is what BTI is. All right. Now what happens basically in this is boost to investment is given. All right. Second thing, in such BTIs, now more or less international organizations like World Bank, UNCTAD, they are also involved. Why they are involved? Why in a way they are involved? The reason for that is the agreement between these two countries, suppose A and B, should not be of such a nature that it discriminates companies from country C. All right, देखो, the focus of international organizations like World Bank or World Trade Organization or UNCTAD for that matter is to promote world trade, make world trade more inclusive. If the agreement between A and B is of such nature that other countries are basically excluded out of any formulation, or if the agreement is of such nature that it discriminates other countries like country C, then that particular agreement will be against the spirit of world trade, and these organizations want to avoid it. All right, that is why these organizations more or less are involved in the negotiation. Target, what is the target of BTA basically? Target of BTA basically is providing guarantees. It is providing basically guarantees with respect to terms of contract. It is providing protection. It is basically providing safe environment, assuring safe environment to countries. All right, chalo. Now let us look into the question. Consider the following statements regarding the concept of BTI in international law. Bilateral trade investments are agreements. Yes, they are agreement between two countries. Okay, again correct. That aim to promote and protect foreign private investment by providing certain guarantees and protections to investors from one country in the territory of other country. Absolutely correct. What we have discussed, everything basically is covered under this statement 1. Second statement, the negotiation and enforcement of BTI are solely governed by domestic laws of the countries involved without involvement. Without is an important word here. Without any involvement or oversight from international organizations like UN or World Bank. Absolutely wrong. Alright, देखो, more or less it is domestic law that is in focus, no doubt about that. Alright, but international organizations are part both during negotiation and during enforcement of the treaties. Enforcement of the treaties. Alright, and even when there is certain dispute with respect to such treaties, now what will happen is these international organizations will play a role in resolving them. Okay, the first statement is correct, second is incorrect. Our answer therefore is D. Statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is incorrect. Alright, moving on to GEM portal. So this is basically government marketplace portal. Government marketplace portal. E-marketplace portal. Now what is it? It is an open platform. It basically is an open platform that looks into procurement of goods and services by central government. Alright, what central government will do is it will basically notify about its requirement on the e-marketplace, government e-marketplace, and then it will choose one of the vendors of goods or of services through this particular portal. One of the vendors will be selected from the portal. Alright, any vendor basically can register at the portal and then display the goods and services. Alright. Also what we have to know is the portal works mainly without human interference. It works without human interference, and hence it cuts down on corruption. Also because the conditions of contract, that means the requirement of government and the supply that will be provided by private vendors, it is on display. It is basically on display, and hence what will basically not happen is favoritism. Favoritism basically will be cut out. Alright, so corruption will be targeted through it and favoritism will be targeted through it. This particular portal is hosted by Director General of Supplies and Demand. It will be It is basically hosted by Director General of Supplies and Demand. Since 2002, what has happened is, now this is an important, so 2020, not 2002, I'm so sorry. Since 2020, what basically has happened is, this is important change that has happened. Country of origin of a product, country of origin of a product has to be clarified, has to be proved on the portal. Alright, because this portal is mainly for Indian vendors. Alright, Indian vendors and Indian manufacturing as such. Chalo, now let us look at the question. It is one-stop portal to facilitate online procurement of common use goods and services required by various government departments, organizations, PSUs. Yes, all of them basically have to use it, and all of them basically have to notify their common use goods and services. Okay. Now let us go to the second statement. Central and state government departments are mandated to make purchases through it. No, it is only central government that is mandated to make purchases through it. For registering new product on GEM portal, it is mandatory to clarify country of origin. Absolutely, country of origin has to be, we have just spoken about it, has to be mentioned since 2020. So how many statements are correct here? 2 statements are correct. Our answer therefore will be only 2. Be only 2. Okay. Now talking about Great Indian Bustard. Now Great Indian Bustard is one of the vulnerable species. Vulnerable species. Alright. It is in news because government has expressed its inability to make it possible for power supply lines to go underground. Alright, so basically there was a PIL for the purpose of safeguarding Great Indian Bustards, and one of the reasons for their being in danger is overhead power supply lines. So Supreme Court had asked whether power supply lines in the areas of Great Indian Bustard, can they be turned underground? Government has basically stated that it is in favor, it is working on safeguarding the Great Indian Bustards, but moving power supply line, all of them underground, is not possible, is basically not possible. Alright, Great Indian Bustards, as I told you, are vulnerable species. They basically are species of birds. In fact, they are biggest birds in India to fly. Alright, mostly they are found in North Indian part of subcontinent. In fact, if you look into it now, they are basically found from Pakistan, right from Pakistan to Uttar Pradesh. Alright, in fact, at one point of time, Great Indian Bustards were found in great numbers. In fact, Great Indian Bustards were so important for India culturally also, basically, that there was a competition between peacock and Great Indian Bustards for being the national bird of India. Ultimately, this competition was won by peacock. Alright, Great Indian Bustards are vulnerable, and the reasons for that is wild animals, especially wild dogs, which move freely in the jungles of North India. Pesticides, loss of habitat due to agricultural activities, hunting. So the meat of Great Indian Bustards is appreciated in India and Pakistan also. In fact, in Pakistan, what do we see is Arabs coming especially to the country of Pakistan for the purpose of hunting Great Indian Bustards. All right, overhead wires, so we have seen they are one of the reasons. So what happens is Great Indian Bustards now they get tangled and they die in the overhead electricity lines. All right, so these basically are the reasons. These basically are the reasons why Great Indian Bustards are vulnerable. So chalo, let us look now at the question with reference to the threats faced by Great Indian Bustards. Which of the following statement is correct? Free ranging dogs, yes. Pesticides in farmland, yes. Overhead power lines, yes. Predators such as cheetah, no. Why? Because Asian cheetahs are extinct. The last cheetah in India was hunted down approximately 70 years ago. All right, approximately 70 years ago. So cheetah now have been reintroduced in India, but their numbers is too low for them to cause any problem to Great Indian Bustard. Second thing is that these cheetahs are till now not known to hunt the Great Indian Bustards. All right, whatever cheetahs we have brought basically from Africa, they are still not known to hunt Great Indian Bustards. Last is recreational hunting activities. Yes, this is also correct. So what we will say are the reasons. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 nahi hai and 5. Our answer will be basically B. All right, moving on now to the last question of the day. So UNSC has passed resolution with respect to Gaza. All right. Now, this passing of resolution has put the high table, global high table, into focus. So what basically is UNSC? UNSC basically is the power center of United Nations. It is the power center of United Nations, power center of UN. All right. All the important decisions of UN are basically taken by UNSC. All right. If you take into consideration UNSC now, so it has 5 permanent and 10 non-permanent members. 5 permanent members, who are they? Who are 5 permanent members? US, UK, US, France, Germany, sorry, not Germany, I'm so sorry. US, UK, France, China and Russia. All right. With respect to all the important decisions, concurrence of all these members is necessary. If even one of them rejects the proposal, that is, uses the veto power, the decision cannot be passed. On the other hand, non-permanent members are elected region-wise for the period of 2 years. All right, they are elected for the period of 2 years. And during this time period, they have the right to vote. So basically, decisions taken by UNSC are on the basis of majority. If a particular resolution is put to vote, then 9 votes have to be in favor out of the 15 members. 5 permanent and 10 non-permanent. 9 votes have to be in favor of the decision. Out of these 9 votes, 5 votes have to be from permanent members. All right. The task of UNSC basically is to maintain world peace. All right. Maintain world peace, resolve disputes, all right, provide humanitarian help, look into humanitarian crisis, and if needed, also use force. For the purpose of world peace. So this is ironical, but this is true. For the purpose of maintaining peace, force has to be used, and in this case UNSC does it. All right, or UNSC basically has the power to do it. India has been trying to become the part of permanent member of PM here is permanent member. All right, permanent member of UNSC. Let us see when it happens. So let us now consider the statements. United Nations Security Council UNSC resolutions are legally binding decisions that are adopted by UN Security Council. The first statement is correct. The resolutions that are passed by UNSC are adopted by the Security Council, and those resolutions are binding. Those resolutions basically are binding. For the purpose of making those resolutions acceptable or implementing those resolutions, what can be used? UNSC can use force also. It can also basically terminate membership of the particular member. If a resolution is passed and if a country does not accept that resolution, UNSC has the right to use force. It has the right to terminate the membership of that particular country. So first statement is correct. Second statement, UNSC can address a wide range of issues including threats to international peace. Yes, this is correct. International peace and security, yes. Climate change, no. Climate change still has not been added to the mandate of UNSC. All right. Humanitarian crisis, yes. Dispute between nations, yes. So this answer is not completely correct, na? So it is false. All right, it is false. It is incorrect. This particular statement is not completely correct. Because it is not completely correct, it is incorrect with respect to the question. The implementation of UN resolution relies solely on cooperation of member nations without any enforcement mechanism in place. Absolutely not. Enforcement mechanism is available and force can be used. So first statement is correct, other two are incorrect. Our answer therefore is A, only one. Alright friends, that was all from me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. And please like the video, share it and subscribe to GS Core. If there are issues that you face, if there are problems that you face with respect to UPSC preparation, please do reach out to us. One of the mode will be to write down your issues or problem in the comment section. We will ourselves come and help you out. Don't worry. ठीक है? चलो. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.